Meanwhile, if you're able to hear me, if you're able to see me, let me quickly know your introductions on the chat. So my name is Aparna. I'm going to be your host for today. And we have a very interesting session lined up. And I'm really excited about the session as well. Yes, hello, Luis, Kalyani, Anil, Anita. Shiva, Timothy, Shreyas. Hi. Hi, Shreyas. Gustavo. Okay. Okay. A lot of people from different parts of the world. It's actually amazing to see you all. Great. Great. Keep those introductions coming. Yeah. So I'm just waiting for a few more people to join. Meanwhile, you could share your introductions. Yes, Anand, we're ready to start. Just a few more minutes. Rudra, hi from YouTube. Okay, Vaishnavi, Virupaksha, Ryan, Rajveer, someone from Liverpool. Okay, Dennis from Liberia. So people on LinkedIn, if you are able to hear me, see me, just leave your introductions on the live chat as well. Remember, you'll be interacting with us there. Okay. Yes. 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 Yeah. Okay. So a quick agenda for today, right? While people join in and more people are just just kind of joining the session. There's some agenda for you. This is how we're going to go about the session, right? We have a lot of people from different parts of the world who are here to understand how SQL is really important. What is the role of SQL in data analytics? It's probably one of the building blocks of data analytics. We'll understand that. And Sadiq is going to help you understand some essential, basic, fundamental SQL commands. And later, after the session, we are going to help you understand how this fits into your data analytics journey, how the program, which is the professional certificate in data analytics, helps. And we'll also take you through the enrollment steps, right? And towards the end, we've got 3 giveaways for you, including the webinar certificate. Okay. So what these giveaways are, I'm not going to reveal right now. We'll wait till the end of the session to understand what they are. Yes. Remember 3 giveaways, and third one is actually the webinar certificate. So make sure you stay till the end because these giveaways are as amazing as the webinar itself. Okay, so a lot of you are already here. We've got close to 300 people in this session, and it's going to be really hard for us to keep track of the chat messages. So remember, this is what you're going to do. Okay, yes, 300 people, absolutely. So including, I mean, this is excluding audience on LinkedIn and YouTube, of course. So in case you're joining us from Zoom, please remember to put your questions in the Q&A box and not on the chat box. Okay, because again, you can yourself see the amount of messages that we're getting. So in case you have a question for Sadiq, please make sure you put a question on the Q&A box and we'll address that towards the end. Yeah. Now, remember the session is going to be a live demonstration of what SQL commands look like. So it is going to be pretty interactive, and you will have to anyway, keep talking to Sadiq on the chats. You will be able to address these answers towards, during the session itself. But let's say you have a question related to your career, it can be anything else. Please use the Q&A box for this. Yeah. Are we clear with the ground rules about what to do when you have a question and when we'll answer them? Yes. Yeah. Just a quick yes will do. If you've understood the agenda, how we're going to go about. It's going to be a 1.5 hour long session. So we're at 9 p.m. India time. So another 1.5 hours, including the giveaways that I mentioned and also the Q&A. Okay, right? Yes. So about till about 10 to 10:15, we'll only be doing the SQL commands. And then after that, I'm going to be taking you through the enrollment steps, the Q&A, and then the giveaways. Yeah, right? So we've got enough people now in the session, and before we start, it's always good to know the audience a little better. So what I'm going to do is launch a very quick poll on Zoom. Now, people watching us on LinkedIn and YouTube, what you can do is please use the live chat to answer this poll question. People on Zoom, just let us know how much are you aware of SQL? Have you used them? You already know about these commands, you use them extensively. This will help Sadiq again, frame his conversation accordingly. On the poll, it will be really helpful if you can answer this question on the poll. Yeah. We already have a few questions on the Q&A box. Priyesh, thanks so much for your question. Hopefully, when we talk about the course, you should be able to get your roadmap. People on Zoom, please use the poll only. Okay. Yeah. And for best results, it's best if you join via the Zoom app. If you don't see the poll, just go to more, click on the 3 buttons there, should be able to see the poll. Okay. Anyway, I'm just going to end this right here and share these results with Sadiq. Sadiq, you should be able to see the results now.
Okay.
A lot of them are actually beginners. About more than 2/3 of the class is actually, a beginner. A third of them are kind of, already use them extensively.
So
Right.
got it. Around 70% of them are very beginners, and around 25, 32% is like, I've been working with the SQL.
Correct. Sadiq, actually, your video is not visible. So
Okay,
maybe you
fine.
can actually remove the background, or yeah, you're visible now.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's time to start.
Yeah, I'll just quickly introduce you and also Simplilearn. I think we'll quickly get started after that. Just another 5 minutes, and then we should be ready to. Okay, great. So I'm just stopping the sharing of results as well. Just some introduction before we start. Just some introduction about Simplilearn and what we do. Simplilearn offers skills in various domains: data science, machine learning, AI, cloud computing, cybersecurity. We've also got courses in and certifications in Agile and Scrum, project management, product management, and also tech. Right. So we've got multiple courses that have the Gen AI components included. And in fact, the course that we're going to talk about today also has the Gen AI component included, right? So that's just a bit about what Simplilearn does. We've touched more than 8 million careers worldwide across learners from more than 150 countries. The proof is the audience that is there in this webinar, right? So we've got a lot of global accreditations as well, and a lot of amazing and qualified trainers who help you in your upskilling journey, who help you learn and gain these skills that are required for you to achieve your career goals, right? Simplilearn. Let me just also introduce our speaker, Sadiq, to you. Sadiq is a passionate person, and he's a really passionate trainer, and he specializes in Excel, Power BI, also Tableau, data analytics. So anything associated with data analytics, the end-to-end process, he specializes in that. And he's delivered a lot of training to professionals, learners like you. He's also actively involved in developing and improving Simplilearn's curriculum. So he's also kind of a mentor of sorts for incorporating topics that are trending and that are also coming up in the data analytics field. It's great to have you again, Sadiq. I think a few learners
Thank you, Aparna,
from the earlier session. So I think I'll hand it over to you from here. You can take over.
Yeah, hi, very good morning to everyone.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, why is this poor? Okay,
no, I think it's perfectly fine. Sadiq, you're perfectly audible.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, very good morning, good evening, a good day to everyone. Okay, irrespective whichever the zone you are. Let me introduce myself. As Aparna has already introduced about myself. I'm myself, Mohammed Sadiq. I'm into teaching almost from 25 years, more than 2 decades. Yeah. So I've been certified from Microsoft as Microsoft Certified Professional, as well as from the Oracle, as I've done my OCP, Oracle Certified Professional, for the Oracle Database Administrations. And then I do handle programmings on multiple technologies like .NET programming. I take on the databases like Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, as well as MySQL. I do take trainings on what you say, the Excel, the emerging, the new Excel features, like kind of thing, the Excel 365 expert. Yeah. Apart from that, yeah, I do handle trainings for BI technologies like Tableau, Power BI, and even for Python for data analytics, Pandas, NumPy, and so on. Okay. So more on data analytics kind of a things apart from the programming language of .NET. So today's session, so we'll be doing something on SQL. So I'll go to the help of the MySQL platform, which is actually a open source a platform for writing the queries. Hey guys, so let us start off with SQL. Okay.
So I'll stop my screen share, Sadiq. I think you will need the screen share
Yeah.
now. Just stop
Yes.
my
Yes.
screen share.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'll just share my screen. Hey guys, what is SQL? Generally, when we talk about SQL, SQL stands for Structured Query Language. That means is a query language in a structured way. Okay, means a language to talk to a database and get some answers solved. Okay. Now let us take an example of understanding this particular. How do we write this SQL commands? Okay. So what I will do here is I'm just going to use this particular data set. So as I said, SQL is a language to talk with the database and get the answers from there. Okay. Thanks. So I'm going to use this particular data set here, which is about the employees. So when you first let us try to understand what is there in the data set here. We have the employees data. So this is something about the HR, where I have the employee ID. Every employee is uniquely identified using the employee ID. Every employee has the first name, the last name of the employee, what is their gender, either it's a male or female, and what is the role they're working as, either it's a manager, CEO, lead data scientist, okay, and things. And also we have the information like, what department they work with. Every employee has the experience, how long they have been working with the organization. So we have some location details like, which country, continent they belong to. We have some measurable values like, what is the salaries they are earning, what is the kind of ratings they have. Hey, also we have the information like to whom they are reporting to. Okay, I just have this data. Now, when I just say, hey, we have this particular data, I just want to start questioning on this data. So it might be the first question is, I want to see this complete data, or I want to see only some selected columns, or I want to see only some selected rows. Okay. Or I want to get some kind of a aggregated data. Hey, like, what is the total salary expenses? Or I want to see this particular aggregated data, but I want to see based on some kind of a dimension. Like, say, example, how much we are spending for the employees working in each department. So for retail department, how much we are spending, for automotive department, how much we are spending. Hey, this kind of a questions you want to put on this particular data and you want to get the answers for that. Okay. For that, so we generally use the, what do you call it as, SQL as a language to work with. See, we can put this kind of a question even on Excel and we can get the answers. Yes, Excel is really very powerful. We can do that. But when it comes to SQL, is a place where I can store and manage a very, very large amount of data with a better security. It supports multi-user platform where we can have one dedicated server where the complete data is stored in one server, and the clients from the different place, they can connect and they can interact with the database server. Okay. And yeah, that is the main things. Again, you talk about the big data and all these things where the database server, what data you have stored, that can also be split across multiple distributed computing. So that is where it can handle a very, very large amount of data. So you have heard about big data and all those things. Okay. So what I will do is, since I see the kind of a questions what was being flowing, so they just wanted to know I'm from economics, whether is it going to be relevant or something. See, for then in general, I'll tell you, database is something which is core for everything, even it is a developers, or you talk about the emerging technology, what is happening, the trends, what is happening. You talk about a data science, a business intelligence, you talk about a data analytics, you talk about a data engineering, you talk about a machine learning. Okay, you talk about artificial intelligence. All these technologies are purely dependent on the data. Okay, data is like a fuel for that. And when I say you have this particular data, so That means the data is very large, and you should have some kind of a skills of questioning the data, okay, getting only the information what is relevant to you. And SQL is one of the language which is used to talk to the database and get your answers, okay, answered. Okay, that is what is your SQL means. Is a query language, structured query language. That means a query language in a structured way to put a question to the database and get your answers. Fine. So now we have this particular data. So I have given this name of this particular table as EMP in Excel. Hey, if I want to see this complete data, what is that we do? In Excel is very simple. We just say is equal to EMP, is it? We just get that complete data. So this is how we get it. Okay. Now I'll try to get the same thing in your SQL. How do we write the query to get this particular data? Okay. So I have this particular SQL. I have a database by name Sadiq. Okay. So here I have a database by name Sadiq here when you observe. Okay. See, I'm using a MySQL platform. So you can use any kind of a database. It can be MySQL, Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, or anything. When you talk about a MySQL is an open source database. So that means you don't have to go for a licensing. For the learning purpose, I feel MySQL is a better one because you don't have to invest in the licensing or anything. And apart from that, it's a lightweight compared to the Oracle or Microsoft SQL Server. It is much lightweight. And the third thing is, yeah, MySQL is available on multiple platforms. It is available on Windows, Linux, as well as on the Mac machine. So when you go to this Microsoft SQL Server, you will have this kind of things. It is supported only on the Windows platforms. Here, it can support on multiple platforms. So that is something like, the advantage. So I can say for the learning purpose, MySQL is a better one. But in the industry, yeah. So I see, like, what happens. This is a license free, so the costing is very cheaper. So most of the organization, they go with MySQL. But apart from that, so when the enterprise companies, the big organizations, yeah, obviously they work on Oracle and SQL Server, Microsoft SQL Server. Irrespectively, the SQL command remains the same. Okay. We'll see the general SQL commands of how we can access the data. Okay. Hey, so I have this particular table called as employees. Okay, I have a table called as employees, and I want to see the data. So we have a direct view to see the data here. I just hit on this one, so I can get the data. Hey, this is like, kind of a graphical way to see the data. So I don't want to do the graphical way because here I want to learn SQL. Okay. So if I have to do with SQL, what is that we do is we write a command like this. We say select star from the name of the table, from the name of the table. Okay. So when I just say select star from employees, we can see we are able to see this particular data. Okay. Now, this is one of the simplest command what we write in the SQL to see the data. So what this command does is, hey, this gets me the complete data from the database. This gets me the complete data from the database. Now, the command goes something like this. Select is to, I want to see the data. So select is, I want to see the data. Select will be followed with the columns. What columns you want to see. So when you go for this particular tables, we have the columns like employee ID is one column, vertical sections or columns, is it? And horizontal section or rows, is it? So I want to see all the columns like employee ID is there, first name is there, last name is there, gender is there, and all these things. Fine. I want to get all these particular columns. So now instead of writing all the columns with the comma separator, I can use the shortcut key called as a star. Star represents all the columns. Star is representing all the columns from from where you want to bring this particular columns. I want to bring this particular columns from the table called as employees. That means there is an employees table, has many columns. Get me all the columns from the employees table. Okay, so this command is going to show me the data from the employees table. Fine. Okay. This is how we write a simplest command in SQL to get the complete data from the table. Now what happens is, okay, fine. Um, since the webinar, so I'll not be able to give you the hands-on or something. So during the sessions, there will be hands-on guys. So during the sessions, you'll be having the installed software. I'll be sharing this particular data set. I'll show you like, how do you import this particular data set into your database and then start working on it. And then I give pause there and so that you can practice on those particular things. Since the webinar, so I'll move ahead here. Okay, things. I'll show you next command as what. Hey, I'll always love to go with Excel and try to do the same thing with Excel and try to do the related to SQL. Because why I'm doing this one is, see, any person who goes into a SQL, I say that it is always better they play around with Excel, because Excel is a very good platform where you can play around with the data. Okay, because you don't get any kind of errors, you know, programming, everything based on the ticks, and the job is done. That is just on the few clicks, we can do a lot of amazing things in Excel. Okay, so I'll try to go with the same way. Okay. Um, yeah. Now, the first thing is, hey, I don't want to see all the columns. I just want to see the employee ID, first name, last name, and salary. I'm interested in only seeing this. If I had to do this in Excel, what is that we do? We do something called as a stacking, is it? We do a stacking. So I just want to get some few of the columns, 1, 2, 3, and say example, I'm interested in seeing the salary and the department. Yeah. So I want to see the employee ID, first name, last name, department, and salary. If I have to do this in Excel, so what is that we do? If my manager says, hey, Sadiq, I just want to get only few of those particular columns, what is that we do? Hey, I just write like this, I just say is equal to horizontal stack. Okay. I just say from the employee table, I want to get the employee ID. I want to see again from the employee table, I just want to get the first name. And then I say again from the employee table, so this is what generally we do in Excel, no? Last name, and I just want to see from the employee table again, I want to see the department, fine. And I also want to see from the employees table, I want to see the salary, is it? So I just say salary. Fine. So when I just say, hey, I want to see this one is few columns and press enter, I'm able to get only these columns. So this is showing the employee, first name, last name, department, and salary. I know this is very easy in Excel. You already studied all those things in Excel. Fine. So I'm going to teach you the same thing in SQL. So now what I want, I don't want all the columns, because, sometimes, you have 70, 80 plus columns, and I want to see only some columns which is needed for me. Okay. Unwanted columns, I want to keep it away. Okay. So in that case, so what is that we do in SQL? It's actually very easy here. So as I said, star is representing all the columns. Now I don't want to see all the columns. I want to see only some selected columns. Okay. So in that case, I'll just write the query again to you so that I can share this query. So instead of star, I'll just mention the column names. Okay. I want to get the employee ID. I want to get the first name. I want to get the last name. Okay. And I want to get the department. And I also want to see the salary. That's it. So what did I do here? So previously I had written the command as star. Star was getting all the columns, but I say no. At this time, I just want only some selected columns. I want to see the employee ID, first name, last name, the department, and the salary column. I just want only these 5 columns. I've mentioned these 5 columns using a comma separator. Okay. And then when I run this particular query, you can see I'm just going to get only the data what is needed for me. So I'm able to get only those particular 5 columns. It's a very easy way to get only the selected columns. Got it? Yeah, guys? Yeah. Hey, you can make a note of those particular things, or any recorded session will be available to you. Yeah. Fine. This is something like, star was giving me all the columns. Okay, when I run both the queries, you can see star was giving something like, all the columns from the table, but star was giving all the columns, but I don't want all the columns. I want only some selected columns. So just mention those columns with the comma separator. Here now, I can also use some expressions here. Expression is, when you talk about this particular salary, oh, this is the monthly salary. But when I'm displaying, I want to display the annual salary. Okay. I want to display the annual salary. So we know that year has 12 months. Okay. So if I say annual salary is whatever the monthly salary is there, you multiply into 12, it is going to be the annual salary. Yes. Okay. So what I will do here is I'll just say I want to display the actual salary plus I want to display the annual salary. I just say salary into 12. So there is no column as annual salary. So I just say salary into 12. So you can see here. So the actual salary of the employee was 3,000 here, and we are getting 36,000. Okay, 3K, we are getting 36K. Pete, he's earning 11K, but here you can see 132K. Okay, 11K into 12 is 132K. Okay, so when you see any employee, so this employee is earning 7K, but annual salary is 84K. So into 12 has been multiplied. Fine. So I can also something like, not see what I mean to say here is this column is not there in your table. This is not there in your table. In your table source data, it is not there. But I want to show the annual salary. Like I want to calculate the taxing and all those things. I want to know what is his annual income. Based on that, so what is the kind of a taxing amount has to be done. So we have to calculate. Okay. So that is where we do this. One thing here is when I say salary into 12, it is showing the heading as salary into 12. I don't like this kind of expression to be displayed in the headings. You want to say, hey, this is the annual salary. So what is that we want? I just want to rename that column as, instead of salary into 12, I want to say that as annual salary. So what do you do? Just give a as keyword and say, what is that you wanted? Annual salary. Annual salary. So when I give this one, so what has happened here? This expression, instead of showing as salary into 12, it is showing as annual salary. So what is this? This is called as alias name. Alias name is what? When some people have a long names, so they have a short calling name, is it? Yeah, something like Samuel Benjamin, and we call him as Sam. Yeah, we call him as it. Yeah, something like that. When you have people has a long name, so I don't want to call with a long name, but I want to have a short calling name. So something like easy name or something. So I didn't wanted to display this kind of expression, but I want to display this particular kind of a alias name. So I can give what is the name you want to display. Fine with this. Okay, fine. So the next thing is cool. What's next? Yeah. Now we have this particular data here. What is that I wanted is, let us try to put a question here. I just want to know what are the different departments are there. I just want to know. We have employees working for retail department. We have employees working for automotive. We have many employees working for automotive department. We have many employees working for finance. We have many employees working for healthcare. But my manager says, hey, Sadiq, I just want to know what all the departments are there. Just let me know what are the different departments are there. What is that we do in Excel if you have to get the departments? We generally do like this, is it? We just try to copy this particular department. I just say Control C, I copy this, I just paste it somewhere, and then I just go to the data tab. I just say data tab, and then I have to go to the remove duplicates, and I say, yeah, make that as a header and say, okay, or we get this particular thing. So this is the 5 different departments are there. So we have to do all this exercise, is it? Okay. Or in Excel, we have something called as a unique will get you all those particular things. Yes. Yeah, I know that will be done. That is more easier one. So I say is equal to unique. So if you know this particular function, I just say from the EMP table, take the departments. You find this also will get you the unique departments. Now, this is Excel. I'm not teaching you Excel here, but I'm just trying to relate it in Excel so that you people have already worked with Excel. Is it? Fine. So now what I want is, I want something like this. I just want to know what all the different departments are there. Okay. So what I will do here is I'll try to, when I just say star, it shows me all the columns. But you want a specific column, just mention the columns. The other columns don't mention. That will not be displayed. Is it? So I'll try to do that. Select department from the table name. What is the table name here? Employees. Okay. This is going to get all, that is, it has removed the other columns, but it has retained only that column. But what I want here is the repeated values has to be shown only once. That means it has to show me the distinct value. Okay. Repeated values has to be shown only once. So what you do is just before the column, prefix with a keyword called as a distinct. Just before the column, prefix with a keyword called as a distinct. What this particular command will do is, it is just going to get me the distinct departments. Okay, hey, this query gives the answer for my boss question. So my boss wanted to know, hey, Sadiq, I just want to know how many different departments are, oh, what are the different departments are there? Cool, we are able to get this. Okay. Fine. Yeah, I can do something like this. So I hope you're able to get it, like, what you can do with SQL. So you have the data, we can pull the data. So when you're pulling the data, you want the complete data, you want only some selected data, you want to have some kind of a derived column, some kind of a calculated columns. Yes, you can do that. Or you want to get some kind of a unique values. Okay. Again, the second question can be again, say, we have employees working from different countries. I just want to know what are the different countries from where we have the employees. That's it. Okay. So in that case, what you do, just write the same thing. Select instead of department, I say country. Fine. So that's going to tell me, hey, we have the employees from these are the different countries, we have the employees. So that means we have a large amount of data, say lakhs of rows of data, and we might have employees working from, say, hundreds of different countries. But from the lakhs of rows of data, you finding will be very difficult. Okay, but this query will easily give you the same result. Okay, irrespective of the size of the data. So just for your understanding, I've taken a small set of the data, but in the real time, you'll have millions of rows of data. So the same queries, the query same remains the same, irrespective size of the data. Okay, fine. We'll move ahead. Okay. So now the next thing is, so we have this. Now next is, I just want to get the data horizontal rows. Okay. What I mean to say is, so imagine like you have a huge amount of data. I just want to search for a particular employee. I want to search for a particular employee. Might be his name is Eric. I just want to get his details. Okay. I want to see the employees whose name is Eric. I want to get that one. So what is that we do in Excel? In Excel, we have, see, for everything, Excel has a solution, is it? So I just want to list out the employee whose name is Eric. I just say ARIC, is it? I just write a query, something like this. Say is equal to filter. We use a filter command, and say in the EMP table, I just say I want to go for the employee table, where I'm looking at the first name, and the first name should be matching to this value, say Eric. This is going to get me the details of Mr. Eric. Okay, his name is Eric Collins, and so on. Okay, and now the same way, if I say Steve, this will give me the details of Steve. Okay, what is his name? What is his gender? What is the role of that employee? What department he works? How much of experience he has? Which country, continent, salary, experience? All the data has been shown. Okay, I want the same thing in our, what you say, MySQL. Okay, in the SQL, I want to do this. So what is that I wanted? I just want to see the employee whose name is Eric. So let us see how do we do that. If I had to do this, I'll just write a command like this. I just say select star from the employees table. So this is going to get me the complete data, but I want to filter the data horizontally. So if you have to filter the data horizontally, what we do, after the table name, we use the where clause. I just say where, and I want to filter based on what column. I want to filter based on the column called as first name, and that should be a matching to a value called as Eric. First name should be matching to Eric. So I say where I'm filtering on this particular column, first name should be matching to a value called as Eric, ERIC. That's it. Now this is the text data, so I have to enclose within the quotes. Fine. So when you run this particular query, you can see that is showing the details of Eric. So employee, first name, last name, gender, and all these things. Now, if I just say Steve, it gives me the details of Steve. Interesting? Yeah, guys? Okay. Yeah, fine. So this was something like, what you can do with SQL. Okay. Now, the next thing is, so we can use a lot of relational operators. Okay, so equal to, and if I say not equal to, and all those things, or you can even work with the numbers data. Like say example, I want to see the employees who has more than 10 years of experience. Okay, I just want to see that. Hey, if I have to do that, what is that we do? I just say experience 10 years, is that? Okay, I want to see only the employees who has more than 10 years of experience. So we have employees with 7, 9 and things, 1 year also we have, and we have many employees with more than 10 years. I just want to list only those employees who has more than 10 years of experience. In Excel, we do it in this way also, is it? So we say number filter, go to greater than or equal to, we say 10. We either do like this, or if the same thing it's a functional language, we do it if using the formulas, we write like this, is it? Is equal to filter on the EMP table. So I just say I'm filtering on the experience, and I'm just going with greater than, what is that, experience 10. So this will show me the employees who has more than 10 years of experience. If I say 5, it shows me the employees who has more than 5 years of experience. So if I say this has 12, so it shows me the employees with more than 12 years of experience. Cool. Okay. Hey, this is what we do in Excel. Yeah, I'm not teaching you Excel, but yeah, I know you people have worked with this kind of formulas in Excel, is it? Nevertheless, in SQL, SQL is much easier. Okay, but you have to write a kind of a language. So if I have to see the employees who has more than 10 years of experience, so what is that we do? So I just write this. I want to see the data from the table. So I just say select staff from the table name. This is going to get the complete data. Okay. But here I don't want to see the complete data. I want to filter some rows. Since you want to filter the rows, what I do, I'll just use a where. Where I want to filter on what column here? I want to filter on the experience column. So I'll just say where experience is greater than 10. So this will show me only those particular employees who has more than 10 years of experience. Fine. Yeah, guys. Yeah, you can change here. If I say 5, it shows me the employees more than 5 years of experience. If I say 12, it shows me the employees more than 12 years of experience. Yeah, same like in Excel, what we do, we are just doing it here. Yeah, guys. Yeah. Now, so we can use a lot of relational operators here. So when I say greater than, it shows more than 12. If I say, hey, I want to see the employees who has 12 and more than 12 years of experience. I want to see the employees with 12 and more than 12 years of experience. So in that case, what I do, I say greater than or equal to. So this will show me the employees with exactly 12 and more than 12. So you can see it is showing the employees with 12 and more than 12. So when we had only greater than, it was about 12. So when I say greater than equal to, that means 12 and more than 12. Okay, including of 12. The same way I can use a less than operator. This is 12 and below 12. Yeah. So employees with 12 and below 12 years of experience. When I say just less than, not 12, but less than 12. So something like this. So this kind of operators can be used for filtering the data. You got it? Clear? So the way you're able to question on the data and get the answers. Okay. So let me just take up the questions here. Okay. Yeah. Next is, what if I want to go with two conditions? Okay. See, here we are telling us 12 years of experience or more than 12, I say more than, say 8 years of experience, I'll say. Okay. So I'm seeing the employees with more than 8 years of experience. Fine. Now, out of this, I just want to see only the male employees with more than 8 years. I want to see only the male employees with more than 8 years. So I want to go with two criteria. So one is the gender should be male. The second thing is the experience should be more than 8 years. I want to see male employees with more than 8 years of experience. Okay. How do we do that? Generally in Excel, I see where people do like this, is it? In Excel, I do a lot of things in Excel, yeah. We use filter and I say, you're filtering on what? EMP table? Yes. I want to go with two conditions. So if I have to go to two conditions, I have to write something like this. Okay. So include what? The first criteria is from the EMP table. So I take the gender. Um, yeah. Should be matching to, I just select a cell here. Okay. So comma, and I just say another, so I just close this. And if you have to go to the second condition, I have to put a star, then open the bracket. Again, I have to say EMP, and this time I'll just say I'm looking at, what to say, what to say, experience, and I just say greater than, it should be something this much. Yeah. Yeah, so I'll just say this is gender is M and experience is say 5 years. So it is showing only the male employees with more than 5 years. If I say 12, male employees with more than 12 years of experience. If I say F here, female employees with more than 12 years of experience, more than 10 years, more than 5 years of experience, only female employees, yes. So something like this kind of a formulas we have to write in Excel, is that we have to get this kind of a results. Yes, I know Excel is easier thing, but we have to get this kind of an answer with multiple criteria. Yeah, we have to write all those kind of a things. Yeah, I know we can do with the help of the tools, but that is going to disturb the actual data. But if you have to get the answers, we have to write a queries like this in Excel. Okay. Anyhow, we'll have a separate session on Excel, guys. Okay. So now we will do this in SQL. How do we do that? So what is the question here? I want to see the male employees with more than 8 years of experience. Okay. So I can just take the same query here. Okay. And I'll just say, I want to see the employees where experience is greater than 8, and I'll just put an and what is the gender, okay, is equal to what? M. Okay, so that means two criteria out there. Experience is greater than 8 and gender is matching to M. So when I run this particular command, you can see the output here. So it is showing the records which satisfies both the outputs here. One is the gender should be matching to M. And the second thing is what? Experience should be greater than 8. See, all the employees with more than 8 years, at the same time, only the male employees. Cool? Oh. If I say F here, same thing as a female. So female employees with more than 8 years of experience. Okay, I hope all are able to follow. Hope I'm not, I might be fast here. Generally in the classes doesn't go fast. Okay, I think guys. Hey, so fine. So this is how we can apply the filter with multiple criterias and conditions. Now let me just go with some kind of aggregate functions. See, it is something like, SQL is always like, or even you talk about data analytics or data science. I always say it's like, you should be a cops on the data. Okay. How the cops, they torture the thief to, because the thief doesn't tell, the culprit person who has done the mistake. He never says he has done the mistake. He never accepts it. But the cops knows it, like, how to extract it. They torture it. Okay. See, what happens, you have the data, but you need to know the data. Okay. Once only you know the data, you can create some kind of a dashboards on that and tell your manager, telling that, okay, here things can be improved, here things are going, the profit has been less over here, the profit is more here, this product has a higher sales in this particular region, but this product is not being sold in this region. So this, so that okay, we can have a better kind of a business decisions. Okay, so it's always like, how you keep questioning on the data. Now let us have some kind of a aggregation data. Yeah, okay, let us ask some question. Might be the first question is, how many employees do we have? Simple as it. I just want to know how many employees do you have. So that can be a question. So there we write something called as aggregate functions. Okay. So I just want to know aggregate functions. How many employees are there? If you have to find the how many employees are there, so we use something called as aggregate functions. So we write it like this. I say select count of star. Okay, from ah, from employees table. Okay, so when I just say count of star, star is representing the rows, complete rows. Star is representing column, is it? But shows me all the rows. When I say count, it does gives a count of that. So and tells me as the output of this one is 21. Says we have 21 employees. Cool, that is good. Hey, now we know that every employee is earning a salary. Every employee has a salary, is it? So every employee is earning a salary. Okay. So I just want to know what is the total salary. I want to know what is the total. I have to sum up the whole salary column. If I have to find sum of the whole salary column, so what is that we do is I just say write this command. Select sum of what salary from the employees table. Okay, so when I go like this, what it does, it tells me, hey, the total salary on the employees table is 174K. Yes, 174K, 1,74,000. In India, we say call it this as 1,74,000. So I think in the globally, we follow this standards of numbering, is it? 174K. Yes. Okay. Or 0.1 million, is it? 0.1 million. Yes. Yeah, fine. Whatever it is. Because I take classes almost every regions kind of a thing. So Western regions, they say like, zero point 0.1 million or 174K something. Okay. Cool with this. The same way we can find what is the average salary. So I can just find, just say AVG of salary. It's very easy here. So this tells me what is the average salary. The total salary is 174K and average salary is 8.3K. Okay. What is the highest salary given to any employee? I can just say max of salary. Okay, this will tell me what is the highest salary given for the employee respectively. So the same way we have a min function and so on. Okay, the lowest salary we can use as min function. Okay, so here we are able to find out the different aggregations here. Count we saw the number of employees. So so what is the total salary we are spending? What is the average salary given we are giving for an individual employee? Hey, what is the highest salary given for any employee? What is the lowest salary that has been given for any employee? Yeah. So min, max, average, sum. We are able to do this. Okay. Fine. This is okay. This is a simple thing we write in this one. No, I just want to know. I say is equal to sum of, we just say from the employee table. So I'm just taking the salary. Is it fine? So it tells me the salary. Now, what I want is I just want to know, okay, this 174K is the total salary. But I say, hey, Sadiq, I just want to know how much salary we are spending in each department, how much we are spending for automobile industries, how much a department, automobile department, how much we are spending for finance employees, what is the total salary that we are spending on the healthcare employees. Okay, each department wise, I want to do that. If I had to do this in Excel, I think you people do a pivot tables, or you can use a group by function or a pivot function. So something like that we try to do, is it? So I just want a pivoting something like, I just want to say, I want to have department wise, what is the salary? I can just go to this, say, yeah. If I want to see for each department, I do something like this. No, I take a department and the salary. This tells me for all department, there is a department called as all. We are spending 49K. For automotive department, we are spending 31K. Finance, we are spending 24K. Healthcare, we are spending 27K. And the retail, we are spending something around 41.8K. So maximum we are spending in employees working for all department and then for the retail departments. So I want to get this kind of a things in our SQL. So where we are grouping this each all the what exactly is happening is it is grouping all the retail department as one group and it is summing up the salary. All the automotive department as one group and the summing up the salary. Again, showing one output. I want to get this kind of a things. So in that case, what is that we do is, so I just want the total salary. Is it select sum of salary from the employees table. Yes. But I just want to see this grouped by department. So we have a function called as a group by. Okay. What column you want to group? I want to see based on the department. That's it. Since I want to see the department and the total salary in the column, I just say I want to see the department and the total salary. But this salary has to be grouped for each department. That means all has to be one department. Automotive salaries will be summed up. Okay, something like that. Okay. When I run this one, we are getting the same thing. Actually, this is much easier than Excel, is it? It's much easier than Excel, is it? It's more a simple language, a structured query language. That means a query in a structured way. See, if I have to do this in Excel, we write a function something like this. I do it like this, is it? So we use the group by function. I say is equal to group by in Excel, is it? Row field is what? I just want the rows is from the EMP table. Uh, I take what department? So I want the department to be as the rows. Fine. Then we have the values. Values should be the salary. From the EMP table, I just want to take the salary. Fine. And then what kind of aggregation you want? I want the sum. SUM. That's it. So when I do this, we get it. So that is something like we do it in Excel, is it? So in Excel, we write this kind of a function to get this each department wise what is that we are spending. Okay. Now, so if you are working in Excel and the question has been asked, you write this kind of function and give the answers for them. But you're working in SQL and the same thing, we write it much easier. So I see what happens is when I just say select sum of salary from the employees table. Okay. So here what happens is when I say sum of salary from the employees table, this is not doing any kind of a grouping. It is showing the complete table as one group and showing as one output. But here when I say group by, when I just say group by, so you're just dividing this particular total salary by each department. And then you're telling that for each department, what is that we are spending. Yeah. Fine. Yeah, guys. Any questions from your side also, I can take it up. SQL is a very vast subject, guys. Okay, so we have a lot of things. We can learn basic Excel. See, we have a lot of things in SQL.
Sadiq, there is just one question on
Yeah.
how many days would you think a beginner would take to complete learning Excel?
Okay. In this case, I'll just tell. When you talk about SQL, as I said, is a structured query language. Means
Mm-hmm.
it's a language with the help of which we can talk to a database and get the answers done. Okay.
Yeah.
And SQL is one language which can be used with any RDBMS software. So we have hundreds of RDBMS softwares. Like we have Oracle is one RDBMS software, Microsoft SQL Server, Teradata, so SAP, HANA. There are many, even like, even the cloud databases like SQL Azure is there, SQL Azure is there. You talk about Hadoop is there. So anything, you talk about any this one database, hundreds of database. So SQL is the same language which will be used for communicating with any RDBMS. Fine. Now in SQL, we have many commands. Okay, something like we have some commands called as DDL, data definition language. That means with the help of this SQL commands, we can create the database objects. Like you want to create a table, you want to alter the structure of the table, you want to drop the table. So those commands are there. Apart from that, we do also have a DML, data manipulation language. So with the help of which we can manipulate the data. So those are the command deals with the data, like how we can add the data to the table, how we can delete the data from the table, how we can modify the data. Like, employee gets an appraisal. So his salary has to be appraised to a new salary. So how that changes, we do it, the actual data. So that is what. Select is not doing any changes on the data. Select is how you're going to see the data. Okay, things. And then is your select statements where we can see the data. Now, again, in the RDBMS, we have something called as normalizations. What happens in the normalization? Data will not be stored in a single table. It will be spread across multiple tables to store. That is to follow some kind of a good RDBMS standard norms to avoid the redundancy, okay, to maintain the inconsistency, to have a better performance. When the data goes across multiple tables, in that case, what happens is we have to write something called as a joins. Okay, multi-table queries. Either it can be joins, subqueries, or unions. Those things are there. So what I mean to say is, since you asked this questions, we have a lot of things to learn. And then, so you have something called SQL has come out with a lot of built-in functions, text number functions, and they have a lot of functions with respect to this, especially for analytics purpose. Like we call those window functions. Okay, so there we have a lot of things to learn. Common table expressions are there. This is something like what is needed for a data analytics. But if you go for a data engineering or a data science, so your queries has to be written in a more optimized way with a better performance. So there you have something called as stored procedures, indexes. We have something called as the user-defined functions, transactions, and all these things. So on that basis, like I can say around 40 hours is needed to learn at least those things. If you're seriously learning kind of a things in a formal this one, with the hands-on, yeah, 40 hours plus is needed kind of a things, guys.
Understood. Understood. Got
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
Before you proceed to, the next section,
Yeah.
maybe could you explain the group by function again? I think a lot of learners are asking that on the
Uh,
chat and on the
Group
Q&A.
by in Excel or group by in SQL?
I, I think we'll do SQL first and
Yeah.
maybe, yeah,
See,
SQL. Yeah.
yeah, fine. See, what actually the group by does is when I just say select, let me write a simple select statement. Select star from the employees table. So what this does, this will just give me the total, this is just going to tell me, um, this is just giving me the complete data. Now, this is okay, things. But in the real time, what happens when you have millions of rows of data, I'll not be happy to see the data. I just want a head count. I just want a head count. Okay. I just want to know how many employees are there. That's it. I just want to know how many employees are there. If I have that is I just want to get that number. So I cannot say, boss, I've written the query, this is giving me the complete data. From here you start counting and telling that this is the number of rows. No, my manager says I just want to know how many employees are there. So what we do is, this is giving this one row, this is second row and things. I want to get the count of rows, so I'll just add a function called as count. Count is a function, and always a function will have a parenthesis. You have seen in Excel, no? You write is equal to sum, open and close a bracket. There also you have a count function. So I've just put in the brackets. In the brackets, I'm putting the star. So that means the rows, I'm counting the rows. So this will tell me how many rows are there. So that means how many employees are there. So it says 21 employees are there. Fine. So we see that if you count this, no? So we have 21 employees. Getting? Okay. Now, group by is what? Okay, fine. That's cool. Good. How many 21 employees are there? But I want to know how many employees are working in the retail department. How many employees are there working in the automobile department? How many employees are working in the finance department? I just want to get the count of employees based on the department. So that means what I want to subdivide this data into smaller groups, and then I want to get the count.
Yeah.
The group by does that job. So what I do is I'll just say group by. Okay. Group by what? Say department.
Yeah.
That's it. So this is automatically going to group it based on the department and shows. But I don't know what is that 7432. So you write the department also here. So we'll come to know which department we have that 7 employees, in which department we have the 3 employees, in which department we have that 4 employees, which department we have again 3 employees. We see that retail has 7 employees. When you sum up that, you should get 21, is it? 7 plus 4 is 11, plus 3 plus 4 is again another 10 is 21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got
Fine.
it. Right. Understood.
So might be like, if I say I want to know how many employees are there in each country, I can just put here as country and I just say group by country. Okay, this will tell me in each country, oh, we have this employees from all these countries. So we see France, maybe have 1 employee, China, we have 1 employee. From Germany, we have 3, Colombia, say we have 3, India, say we have 4 employees, from Canada, we have 4 employees, from USA, we have 5 employees. Again, when you sum up this, you'll still get as 21. Yeah. This is how we do the kind of a grouping functions, what we do.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Got it. So yeah, I think we can carry on with the explanation maybe, and I'll probably interrupt you again when there
Okay.
are questions.
How can you clean the data using the SQL, introduce
Yeah.
some functions and formulas? Okay. Hey guys, see, for cleaning the data, we have the functions. We have something called as substring functions. We have a lot of functions and so on. Now, let me just take an example here. So since you're asking about this one, so we have something called as a common table expressions. Okay. Yeah, it's a little kind of a tricky, this one. But, since you say, once you join up for a course, no, and you'll be explaining more into details with a lot of examples. But yeah, we'll see how do we do this one. So now let us take this question here as we know uh, each department we have in each department, this is the total salary we are spending. Okay. Now, as a data analyst, I don't want to see this numbers. So they will be more happy to see this in the form of percentage. Here, how much percentage of the salary we are spending on the all department? How much percentage of the total salary we are spending in the automotive departments? If you have to find out the percent, what is that we do? If we have to find out the percent, it's very simple in the function. Instead of sum, you just say percent of. This is really amazing in Excel. So they have come out with this function. This tells you in the form of percentage, and you can see that is just a single this one here. That's really a great thing in Excel kind of a thing. But generally, what we do is we used to do like a pivot table. We know the individual department. This is what we are spending, and if you have to get a percentage, we just say is equal to the individual department what we are spending 49.5k divided with 174.8k into 100. This tells me, so in this department we are spending 28% of the salary. For automotive we are spending 31k. That means how much percentage we are spending, we say is equal to, select this, that is the individual department salary divided by the overall total into 100 will tell me. So for automotive department, we are spending 18k. So we cannot drag this. We have to write this. Is it? So so this is how we do it in Excel. So what we do is first we try to summarize the data. First we try to group the data for each department. And then what we do on this, we try to apply some kind of a percentage. Okay. So in this case, what I will do is I'll use something called as aggregate functions. I'll also use something called as a window functions, and I'll also use a CTE. Okay, I'll not be able to explain everything in this one because we have a short of time. But since we'll try to answer this kind of a questions, okay, using a query. Okay, might be during the session time. Yeah, definitely I'll go into from the scratch. We'll be following the process. No, we'll do that. So first, what I will do is I just want to know this query. Okay, what is it for each department? What you are spending. Okay, first let me write this particular query. So for each department, what you're spending, just like a pivot table. So we have this output. Now I'll just give the alias name for this as the department salary. CLARY. Okay, fine. We have this each department, we are spending this much. Now, we can do it in many ways, but we have something called as a CT, common table expression. I'll just say with CT, common table expression, and then we just say as and open the bracket. So now I'll just close this over here. Okay. Now, when I talk about a CT, CT stands for common table expression. It is just a temporary table. So we have a query, or we have output of this query. This output of this query, the output of this query will be stored into this particular table. The output of this query will be stored in this table. And further, you can write a queries on that. So I can just say select star from the CT. So you can give any name for the CT. It's not necessary you have to give CT. Any name you can give, good name you can give. Okay, it just does it. Okay, so you're getting the same thing. But okay, fine. So now what is that I wanted is, I just want to know the percentage. To get the percentage, I'll take this department salary divided with the grand total. Grand total, we use something called as over function. So what I do, I just want to see the department and the individual department, what is that we are spending. Star is giving this columns. I want to have some calculation here. So which is nothing but the department salary, how much we are spending for each department, divided by sum of the complete department salary. It has to sum up the whole thing. So now when I say sum up the whole thing, it has to show the total for individual row wise. What I mean to say is, I want this particular total to be taken on every row wise. I want it over here, I want it over here, I want it over here. So that means I want this to be shown for each row wise. Okay, so for that we have something called as a window functions, which we'll be learning in during the session time. So I'll make this as a window function. That means for each row, it tells me what is the total salary, and there's an individual salary for the department. When you divide this, we'll get the percentage. And you can see we are able to get this result here. We are able to see retail department, we are spending 41.8K. So that is nothing but 23%, 23.9%. In the automotive department, we are spending 31.8, which is nothing but 18%. Okay, same. Okay, cool. As salary percentage. So I can just give this within the quotes. Percentage salary. Yeah, fun, something like, we use the window functions and so on. Okay, guys. Yeah, see, like, here I'm skipping a lot of things. I have not explained you what is CDE, what is the window functions and things. We'll be learning those things. Yeah, since you asked me, like, how do we write this kind of a data analytics functions? Yeah, this kind of a functions can be very easily written. So a lot of functions like this, which can be very useful for the analytics, can be written. And these are like, the basic kind of a commands. So at the end of the day, I can just say SQL is the language with the help of which we are talking to the database. So you're trying to get some job done from the database. That's it. Yeah, I think that should be fine. Yeah, Aparna?
Yeah, yeah, I think we just have a few more questions. If
Yeah.
we can just answer that. I was just typing the answers. Okay, guys, I already answered questions about recording and certificates, so we're not going to take that. We'll instead answer some questions about your careers and this. And we also have to proceed to the next section of the webinar. So I'm just going to keep this short and then we'll continue the Q&A towards the end. So Meghna has this question, Sadiq. She's preparing for a business analyst role and okay, she's asking for courses. So Meghna, we'll help you answer this question towards the end. We're already talking about a data analytics course. So right now I'll just dismiss your question. Gautam has a question. Excel is the foundation for data analytics and there are lots of formula that you can learn and there's no one can really memorize all the formulas. So my point is, how can one really become an expert in SQL commands? How does one handle that?
There's a question for me, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey guys, first thing question was like, somebody asked like, is the Excel kind of a things base? I always say that Excel is a base. See, the reason is like, Excel is a place where I can see whatever I did here, we could do with the help of Excel. Like I wrote a group by functions, no need of using a pivot also. We can do this, a lot of things, amazing function. So with the help of function, this function, we could do it in one single go. Filters, we could do it. So everything you can do it in Excel. And Excel is something like, where you can play around fearlessly. So whatever the kind of filters we did, even we could do it over here. So we have this kind of a graphical tool. Hey, I want to see the details of Steve. I can just go here, I say text filters, and I go for matching equal to. Okay, Steve, Steve. So it shows me the details of Steve. It's very easy to get it. Fine. So that is why I say, like, Excel is very easy. It's completely a graphical things to is given to you. So fearlessly, you can play around with the data. You can understand the data. So because, at the end of the day, understanding of the data is very, very important. Okay. Then only you can start torturing the data, start questioning on the data. Okay. On that basis, I say Excel is something which is really very mandatory. The second thing is, like, how do we learn SQL? Okay. See, guys, this is more of a mathematical subject, like math, not like history or geography or any other subjects. I always say this is like mathematics. In this, you don't have to by heart anything. A very good thing is you don't have to by heart anything. You have to be logically strong. So it's like, mathematics, like, if I say, um, see, any kind of this one, you just have to know the numbers. I have 5 chocolates, and I have, my friend gave me 2 chocolates. I say 5 plus 2 is 7. We do this thing. Something like, you need to have ideas. Like, so if say I have 5 chocolates and friend gave me 2 chocolates. So they ask you how many chocolates we have. So here, when they give, we have to know that, if something comes in, we have to do the addition of that. Or when I give something, so I need to subtract it. So I need to know that kind of a logic. So maybe here also, like, as soon as a question is being given to you, so we need to be logically strong enough to take a decisions, like, how we can answer this particular questions. So first, I always say is, don't start writing the SQL commands. Don't start writing the commands. Try to understand, like, what was the question is being asked, and how do we answer for that particular question. Plot it. Okay. Was something like, they wanted to see the data, they wanted to modify the data, or they wanted to see the data for that is in that data, they just wanted some kind of aggregation. So if the data has, like, okay, how much we are spending in each country. Okay. So here clearly says, I want to see the data, but I want to summarize the data, aggregated data. So where I have to see the countries, the groups, and for each country, how much we are spending. Okay, things. So in that basis, like, that is the things what we need to know. And second thing is, like, you need to know, like, the basic things, like, so when you're selecting the data, we say select, and that is going to be followed with the columns. And if it is all the columns, we say star. If it is only selected columns, mention the columns with a comma. If you have to get some kind of a calculations, yes, we have the calculations things. Okay. We have a lot of functions also. You can concat first name, last name, and make it as one name, and so on. If they ask you, hey, I just want to know how many different countries are there, or what are the different countries are there, we got a distinct. But I just want to know how many different countries say we have employees. So we can put a count on this. And when you put a count on this, so we'll come to know, out of the 21 employees, we have the 21 employees coming from 7 different countries. Okay. When I say a distinct count, it was just listing out the country names. But I just want to know how many different countries say we have employees. I'm just using a count. This particular thing, what you got it, the same thing around, I'm surrounding with the count. So now we know what is a count, what is a distinct, what is a country column does. See, simple, I'll show you one thing. So if I just give country, so what it does, it removes the other column, shows me only the country column. Fine. That is what exactly is happening. It is showing all the countries. But I don't want the duplicate values. So if I want to remove the duplicates, we have a keyword called as a distinct. You just need to know this few keywords here. When you use a distinct, it removes the duplicates. But I don't want to show this particular name of the countries. I just want to get a count of it. So in that case, what you do, we have a function called as a count. And when you use any function will have a parenthesis. Just put this in the parenthesis. Okay, I think this is how you have to learn SQL. So it's completely like mathematics. You don't have to by heart anything, but you need to know the basic things. What is the each clause doing? From clause, what it is doing? So after from will be followed with the table. After group by will be followed with the column. Again, in the when you talk about data analytics, we have something called as the dimensions and the measures. Okay, aggregate functions is done on the measures, and grouping is done on the dimensions. This is what happens in your pivot table also, no? So when you take what is it, department or country or anything, by default they go to the rows because they are dimension. They cannot do a calculation. But if we talk about a salary or experience, by default they come into the values and they do an aggregation. Is it? So see, it's like a built-in AI, Okay. So before we used to manually drag and drop in Excel. Now we can see there is a lot of built-in. You don't have to really go with a chat GPT or a copilot or anything. So these things, you should know this particular things. That's it. So here is again, when you're doing a group by, so aggregate function is done in the measurable values and grouping is done on the dimension, discrete values. Yeah,
Right.
hope I answered this.
Great. Yes, yes, we definitely answered it. So I think Sadik, we'll just proceed with the Q&A,
Okay.
towards the end, maybe. We'll kind of, I'll just take the screen share back
Yeah.
and I just have a few questions for the learners as well.
I hope it was informative for the learners.
Definitely. So yeah, I think the learners, you can answer how informative it was. Just let us know on the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, all if you can respond on the chat. Yeah.
Thank you.
Amazing. Great. So, Sadik, one request that a lot of learners had was they wanted your data set. I know they can use any other data set as well, but I think because you showed them
I can
this
share.
and we're also, sharing the recording, it will be
No.
helpful if you can share the data set with me. So, learners, you will receive the data set, the recording, everything else on Monday, right? And Monday, end of day, you should have all these resources with you. Okay? Remember, Monday, end of day, you will have all these resources. Yes? All right. Great. Great. Now, another question that we have for our learners, for which pretty much I know what the answer is, but in case you guys can let us know on the chat, will actually be helpful. Sorry, on the poll. So I've just launched a very quick poll, and audience on LinkedIn and on YouTube, in case you're wondering what the poll question is, let me just share my screen again. Just a moment. Yeah, sorry. Yes. So if you can just answer, what is that one thing that is stopping you from becoming a data analyst? And people posting questions on the Q&A box, just wait for a while because we're still about to discuss a few more things, right? And maybe then you can ask your questions. Right? Because we're almost approaching towards the end of the session. I may not be able to address everything, so just make sure your questions are really selective, powerful, and not repetitive. I've answered nearly 80 questions while the session was going. So I'm sure you'll find your answers in those 80 questions, right? Please take a look before you actually post one. Right. Keep those answers coming. Yeah. Yes. So a lot of you learners now feel that you don't have the practical exposure you need, right? And some of this session, it actually helped you understand how how practical exposure is really important, right? And why you have that gap. It made you recognize that. Now, a lot of you learners also asked this question about, will Sadik be taking the training as well? So the answer is yes, he will be taking classes associated with the Excel, the SQL topics, particularly anything associated with Tableau, Power BI. He will be actually your trainer if you end up taking the professional certificate in data analytics and generative AI. Right now, these classes are much longer and an extended version of what you saw today. Remember, Sadik kept saying that I won't be able to teach you much because this is the time that I have, and it's hard for him to wait for you to understand or wait for you to practice and load the data set and also practice these queries and commands. So it's hard for you to do that in a 1.5 hour long session. But remember, imagine doing this in a 4 hour long session with the other learners as well, and along with Sadik. So that's going to solidify your learning, one, and also give you that practical exposure, that confidence that you can also kind of take the step forward and try and do what data analysts really do, right? So that's how the course really helps, and that's how it's different from what you'll find anywhere else, right? And not just with the topics that Sadik takes. So if there are other topics as well, you will find that the sessions are really interactive and you're actually learning along with the learners. Even though it's a virtual setup, you're actually learning along with a lot of other peers who are, who have a similar background as you, right? So we start from the basics. We kind of teach you business analytics with Excel, and all that you learn today is actually the fundamental of the course. And then you learn some Python programming and ETL, which is again fundamental of data analytics. And then you understand how GenAI is important, how GenAI can be used in data analytics, and of course, some electives as well, which is data visualization. And you also have an IBM course, which is called the prompt engineering course. And along with that, you have an academic masterclass by Purdue University online. Okay, so that's an added advantage that you get when you join this course. This course is offered in partnership with Purdue University online. Okay, right? So that's exactly how the curriculum is built. And you have a bunch of capstone projects as well. So you're not just actually learning these topics live in live classes with trainers, you're also towards the end of the course, you're also practicing these projects live along with your trainer and the other learners as well. And all of this, along with the live classes, if there's any self-learning content that is available, the capstone project is all available to you in a learning environment that's just dedicated to you. That's something that you can access. Okay, and you will know your progress. You'll be able to track how far you are from course completion, right? So that's just a bit about the capstone projects. We've got amazing trainers like Sadiq himself. We've got Shubham, Sonal, and Christopher, who are your trainers as well, and a lot of trainers actually for the other modules as well. And Patrick J. Wolf is actually the Dean of College of Science at Purdue University, and he is the program advisor for this particular program, right? So the curriculum is built by people who are in the industry, people who have a lot of experience, understanding of what should be taught, how we can bridge the gap between what the industry requires and what the learners require. So that's how the curriculum is really built, and it keeps evolving. That's the best part. So we don't stop at just teaching you what you saw just now. We make sure that the curriculum is, changing and changing with the times that are coming, right? So of course, I don't think we need to mention how Purdue can really help. So Purdue is globally recognized. It is a leader in higher ed and also particularly leader in technology, engineering, data science courses, right? And it's at the forefront of research and innovation. And actually, Purdue University Online collaborated with Simplilearn to, bring these courses so that learners are able to upskill without actually visiting the campus, right? So that's how Purdue's courses are useful. And along with that, you get access to master classes. You also get access to a certificate that's jointly offered by Purdue and Simplilearn. Okay. And the last but not the least, you also have access to the Alumni Association of Purdue, and you become eligible to actually, access that, right? So remember I said that you have a learning environment where you can access the course content, the self-learning content. You are also able to access learning support. You have a cohort manager who helps you with your queries, who helps you understand, where you can find the resources, when your next class is going to happen, what you can do if you miss a class, all of that. Anything associated with your learning, there's a dedicated cohort manager, and this is irrespective of the region you live in. Okay, right? And one more thing that we offer in the course is career support. Now, please don't mistake this for job guarantee. It is in no means job guarantee, but what we offer is mentoring in terms of what jobs you can find, what jobs are relevant to your current profile, help you with interview prep, help you with optimizing your profile, your LinkedIn profile with the help of AI, and of course also help you with mock interviews, right? So that's a part of career support, and we've done this in partnership with Talent Inc. for US learners, and for India we've done this with IM Jobs, right? So we've got some really amazing features apart from just the solid curriculum that you get. It's actually the support, the learning support that you get, the career support that you get, along with the trainers that teach these courses. And of course, the format of learning is also intensive. It's not like you're just attending a 1-hour session where it's unidirectional like this. Okay. So remember, you get a lot out of this course, and totally depends on how you utilize it as well. And that's how you gain success out of the course. So this is how the certificate looks like. Remember, I said that there are some IBM courses as well. So for that, you actually have IBM certificate as well. I'm sorry, the certificate is incorrect, but you also have an IBM certificate. And of course, a certificate jointly issued by Purdue University Online and Simplilearn. Yeah. Some success stories from our learners who actually made use of the program and eventually, went on to become successful in their career. So you can actually see that this person, has kind of switched to data scientist through this course. This person, Murray, has actually learned Tableau. Ravindra has actually, completed this course, and he kind of made sure that he used it in finding a new job. So you've also got some career transition stories here. Some of you here are actually non-data professionals. So if you can see, these people have actually went on to become data professionals with the help of our course, right? And all of this information is actually available on the course page. So I'm not adding random screenshots. I will share the link for you to refer all of these stories as well. Yeah, you're free to actually connect with these people. Some of their LinkedIn profiles are available as well. You're actually free to connect with them. And let me see if there are quick questions. So I think there is Slack, Erin, if I'm not wrong. It must be Slack. There's no WhatsApp group. Course brochure. So Sudhar, I will share the link. You can download the course brochure there. And yeah, I'm actually coming to the point about the course fee. There is no job placement, Sonika. Like I said, there is career support. Okay. And let me see quick questions about the course. It's going to be hard for me to track questions. There's so many of them and so many learners here in the class. Let me see quick questions about the course. Okay, nothing else on the Q&A box. I'm just coming to the enrollment steps as well. So how you enroll is you can fill in the application on the course page. We fill in your information, your basic information about when you graduated, your job, the profile and everything. And then someone reaches out to you if you're shortlisted. And then eventually, we'll be sending you the payment link, and that's how you start learning, right? But an easy way out, instead of going to the course page, is to actually do this on the poll that I'm about to launch. Okay, so here's the course fee, right? So the course fee for India learners is 1,50,000 rupees, and for US learners is $3,500. Now, the easier way to pay or finance this course is to use our financing partners and have installments as low as 6,700 rupees or $350 a month, right? So this just eases the burden on your pocket, and you're able to afford this course without actually burning hole, right? So maybe you can upskill, reach your career goals with the help of these installments, right? Now, so remember I said that there are 3 giveaways towards the end. Now, the first giveaway is actually the scholarship. Okay. Now, before I do anything else, I want to give this, giveaway here, just to get 20% scholarship for all webinar attendees. Now, what you do to avail this scholarship, remember there's going to be a lot of polls and information on the chat. So just be very, very mindful of the poll questions. And people watching us on YouTube and LinkedIn, you can still avail this by heading to the course page and putting in your query and reaching out to the learning advisor. But if you're watching us on Zoom, you make sure you click a yes. And when you click a yes on the program, you are eligible for the scholarship, a 20% scholarship over and above, on the course fee that you just saw, right? So 20% lesser than what you see here is what your course fee is. Yeah, right? Now, if you're interested to talk to a learning advisor, only then you select a yes. Otherwise, you can select a no or not do anything. There's no compulsion. There's no nobody forcing you to enroll into the course, right? So that's giveaway number 1. Okay, now while you give these poll entries, let me just clarify a few more things. If you live in the US, you will receive the call in the next couple of hours. But let's say you actually live somewhere in India, anywhere else in the world, you will receive a call tomorrow or even Monday, right? But remember, the scholarship is still valid. Just make sure that you use the opportunity and join the upcoming cohort. When does the cohort start? The cohort starts on the 16th of June, which is about 11 days away. So you can actually use the scholarship, quickly, because from Monday, it's just a week away to get the cohort started. So it is an 8-month long program, and these are your timings. If you're wondering when do your classes happen, so they happen in the evenings, suitable to anybody who's working as well. Okay, right? So I hope with this, anything associated with the course is out of the way. Course is paid. I did show you the course fee, guys. What about students? Like I said, if you're not able to afford, there is no compulsion for you to enroll. All you can use is the installment option, but again, it's not compulsory. Right. How is AI affecting the data? Yeah, so AI is basically going to help you get better at data analytics. And in fact, this course is actually also going to help you understand how you can leverage Gen AI in data analytics, right? Yeah, so for people asking me the course link, let me share that with you guys. And please make sure your poll responses are coming in. I'm just going to close the poll in the next 1 minute. And then what I've done is I've actually shared the link to the course on the chat. You guys can take a look at it and let us know. If you have a query, you can just drop it on the chat bot as well. Someone will reach out to you. Okay, Rajan, actually, it's an amazing idea if you're already in the domain of banking or, you want to change to IT. That's not a problem, but even if you are in banking, you can still become a data analyst in the banking and finance sectors. That does not stop you. Maybe you can talk to a learning advisor and figure this out as to how should go about this path, right? Right. Got it. All right. All right. Great. So I'm just going to end this poll right here in the next 10 seconds because it's also time for giveaway number 2, which is actually very, very closely associated with what we just did in the webinar, right? So another 10 seconds and then we're done. Okay. I'm just going to end it exactly at 10 seconds. About half of you have already, expressed interest in the program, which is actually amazing. You took the first step to, yeah. Great. So I'm just going to end the poll right here and going to share giveaway number 2, right? Now, this is actually going to be really interesting, something that, we've not done very much in our earlier webinars, right? So if you guys are ready and attentive, we're going to do this right now, right? So what we've done is, with actually Sadiq's guidance, we've actually come up with an SQL cheat sheet sort of that is like a PDF that helps you with all the commands, right? Now, because you attended this webinar and stayed for so long, it makes sense for you to have this PDF with you, right? Now, it does not end there. There's also another surprise element associated with it, right? Let me first share the PDF with you, and I'm going to do that on the chat. You don't have to do anything. Yes, yes, yes. I am going to do it on the chat, but please make sure, you save it. 1 sec. I actually missed the link myself. So it's actually a drive link. So I'm making sure that the access is all set. So you should be able to see the link in the next 1 minute. Yeah, here you go. So you should be able to download the file, right? Because you have the view access. Okay. So please make sure you bookmark this link. Now, coming up is an additional surprise element that I was talking about, right? Please pay attention. Once you've bookmarked the link, just pay attention. So this Simplilearn has come up with a GPT of itself. Okay. Now this GPT is obviously free of cost, and this is called Simply Mentor. Now, how is this? And this is also useful for people on LinkedIn and YouTube. So in case I won't be able to share the link directly, but you can actually check out this GPT on the GPT store on ChatGPT. So it's called Simply Mentor. Now, Simply Mentor helps you with anything associated with your career, right? So in fact, if you guys actually missed out on the cheat sheet that I sent, you can actually ask Simply Mentor to give you an SQL cheat sheet, and it will still be able to do it for you, right? So let's say, how do I shift from software to data science is your question. You can just ask Simply Mentor, and then it's giving you all the concepts that you'll have to learn, some free courses, some paid programs, free articles associated, what your roadmap should look like. Everything is available with Simply Mentor, right? So isn't this amazing? Some of you are asking me about the roadmap that you should follow, everything that you just said, right? So basically, yeah, thank you. I'll pass it on. I'll pass this feedback on to the team as well, who's worked hard on this GPT. So you guys can make use of it, is what I'm saying, not just in asking your career questions. It can be anything that's technical as well. Okay, right? So that's your giveaway number 2. Is that now saved everywhere? If you can, please give me a yes if you got the PDF and the Simply Mentor GPT. Yes. Yes. Amazing. And if you guys have chosen a yes on the poll, you should be able to be reached by a learning advisor as well. Okay. Okay. Now, any further questions will actually be answered by the Simply Mentor GPT, because, I really have, we really have to end this session right now. Anyway, coming up to the last giveaway, which is the webinar certificate, which again, you will actually be receiving by the end of Monday, along with everything else that I mentioned, the data set, the recording, and also the PDF, that I shared will also come to you on your email on Monday. But nevertheless, if you saved it on the chat, it's great. You also have the Simply Mentor GPT now, so you know what to do. You can play around, right? So how do you get this certificate? All you have to do is to give your name on this poll, right? And once you've actually entered the poll, there's pretty much nothing else left in the session. So in case you're leaving, you will be prompted to enter a survey. Please make sure that you give us a rating as well. Okay, right? So I think with that, we're also pretty much done. Sadiq, if you're still here, you can just add parting thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Hey, some people were asking like, is the Excel mandatory or something? So see, actually, Excel is not a mandatory. Especially when you go to data engineerings and all these things, you'll be directly working with Python, SQL, and all these things. But what happens, if you have the knowledge of Excel, it becomes easy for you to understand even the SQL, about the data, or even Python. So in Python, we have something called as a pandas. Okay, pandas does a similar job. Pivoting concept is there, data cleaning concept is there. Everything is like data frames. So on that basis, I say like, the more you work on Excel is more kind of a you get a stronger in understanding the data, helps you in making a better logical decisions and so on. So those things. And I see somebody were asking about the question about the joins. Yes, we can do the joins. Yeah, maybe during the session time we'll cover more on joins. Anything?
Definitely. Yeah, I know Sadiq, you also want to kind of teach as much as possible, but yeah, we have very less time in a 1.5 hour session. So which is why, you know, you should definitely consider taking the course. So make sure you are answering the poll, guys. You guys have to use the Zoom app for best results, which is when you'll be able to access the poll. It comes as a pop-up. It's much easier, right? Yeah. Anyway, you can scan the QR code here, and I'm actually going to end the session in the next couple of minutes. So please make sure you are giving your response on the poll. Otherwise, unfortunately, we'll have to skip your name, right? Yeah. Yeah. Just exactly a couple of minutes, guys. Yes. Yes. About 250 entries out of 300. So another 50 entries to go. Yes. No. You can scan the QR code. Scan the QR code, Jackson. Yes. Yeah. Only name, nothing else. Okay, I really can't do more than this. This is all I can do to give you the poll. You guys should be able to access that. You know, it's not really a big deal. Just pops up on my screen. You can still use the camera, Abhijit. Yeah. Okay, another minute. Oh, God. Okay, let me see. I'm just sharing the link to the poll. But I mean, this is fairly simple. It's not that complicated. I don't know why this is an issue. It's just a pop-up that you see on your screen. Yeah. Great. So we're already getting a lot of dones. Yes. Yes. In case you've already done, please don't enter your name again. I don't think you'll be able to do that. Yeah. All right. Another minute, guys, and we're ending the session. So it was great bringing this session to you. Some really enthusiastic questions. You know, a lot of learners had some great questions on how they can use SQL, how they can become a data analyst. So it was good. It was great answering your questions as well, right? Yes, like I said, hurry. 20% scholarship is what you get as a part of this webinar. Thank you. Amazing. Great. So you guys it'll really help if you actually give us, you know, some responses on the survey as well as you leave. Make sure, you know, you fill in whatever you feel about the session, give us feedback, and, you know, I'll see you guys in another session. Thank you so much, Sadiq, for your time.
Thank
It was
you.
wonderful hosting you and listening to you. And Sadiq will be in the next session as well. Indrajit already has a request for you. Great. Thank you so much, Sadiq. I'll
Thank
see
you.
you
Thank you.
again.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
learners. Bye-bye. Have a great day.